I ain't gonna lie. I've been waiting for some shit like this. Not like that. Like, I don't want to see nobody in jail. Not like that. Right. You feel me? But like, nigga, you know when you hear some shit like,
too long.
I'm waiting for surviving Diddy.
Wait a minute.
That's what I mean. Like, shit like that.
I was a kid, and we looked up to Vince McMahon because he was the first real billionaire that we really looked, because we know that he had more money than Donald Trump. A lot of people didn't know that or think that or know why, none of that.
No, that's a fact.
Niggas was real wrestling fans and really knew who he was. You know,
I ain't gonna lie,
Vince
nigga.
McMahon a legend for
Just
sure.
like I'm waiting on surviving Diddy, nigga. I was waiting on this, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, cause this a freaky ass nigga. When you be hearing about little
stories,
shit, I ain't gonna lie. I always say 1 time's a lie, 2 times a rumor, 3 times the truth. And once you hear from 3 credible, valid sources, you're like, all right, nigga. Now we looking into you. We didn't heard this freaky shit about you a little too much.
All right, so let's tell the people what's going on. Man. So federal agents executed a search warrant on former WWE CEO Vince McMahon on July 17th. The company said Wednesday that its quarterly Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, filing. No charges have been brought, but McMahon was actually issued a federal grand jury subpoena. This comes almost a year after Vince McMahon stepped down as chairman and CEO of the subsequently retired from the company after allegations of sexually misconduct, as well as reports he paid more than $12 million to 4 women over a 16-year period to cover up his properties, or what word that is. Federal authorities and the SEC opened up an investigation into McMahon. So, basically, Vince McMahon, like he been paying on some he had some hush money that he been giving out to 4 different chicks over a 16-year span, and I guess the money ran out.
That's just the 12 M's to them 4. What about the rest
those
of
4?
them?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, Epstein type shit.
That's what it's looking like, because I ain't know Vince. I mean, you can assume though Vince McMahon was moving like this. Then they got too much paper. Like everybody at this, when you get to this level and shit, because I know he worked for a couple B's, right? Or at least a B.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Anybody who's hip to wrestling, anybody who hip to the WWE,
he got 3B.
If you hip to the WWE and wrestling, bro, you know Vince McMahon is just known for doing a bunch of shady ass shit. Like, that's not a surprise. That's not new information, nigga. He's known to do shady ass shit.
3.2. See what I'm saying?
Wrestlers hate that nigga.
The government wants some of that. That's all. They need some of that back, Vince. You fucked all these hoes and did all this old shiesty shit.
Damn, Vince, I ain't gonna lie. They're trying to get you out of here. Why they wait till everybody get old and try to get them niggas out the paint, man?
Nah, that nigga known for freaky ass shit. I believe it. I ain't gonna hold
I believe it too, though, but I'm just saying,
it.
you see how niggas get old and everybody want to come with the allegations and shit?
That's because when you get to trying to buy companies
why
and
is
shit.
That, though? Like, literally, why they wait so long?
Niggas, you know, a lot of people get paid out for a while, and then when the money starts
flowing, okay, Josh, you're right. That makes all the sense in the world.
Then,
that's a good one.
You know, that tends to happen. People later in life.
So legally, okay, Josh, legally how that works?
They want to use it to their advantage. They realize they might not. They've been holding on to things.
Because hush money usually is not legal. Usually I just sent you to Zelle to shut up. I'm sure if you're a billionaire, you might have somebody pull up.
You got them signing some type of affidavit. You got them signing something, some type of.
But then that leaves a trail of what you're not. That's the whole point of this hush money.
Wrong right here.
Now we leaving a trail. I don't want to do none of that.
That's what Trump got caught up with Stormy Daniels was hush money, was paying her not to speak out, which wasn't anything illegal.
Damn,
but then
he
taking
caught up.
money from campaign finances, all that other shit. Like when there's a paper trail, like you said.
Yep, you start doing these paper trails.
Yeah.
Shit gonna start coming up, most definitely.
But I'm saying, ain't there some type of form of extortion in America if you paying a bitch off, even if you paying off or whatever, hush money, this and that, and then all of a sudden, years later, she come and try to hit you for the big bang through the government, through the court system? Ain't there some type of form of extortion?
I'm sure the DAs would rather take any day the case against the billionaire than the extortion. You know what I'm saying? Any day.
It ain't even about him. It's about that 3.2 billion. That's all they see.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is messed up because that bitch was taking all that money for all these years.
And it's a bigger look.
These 4 bitches are millionaires.
It's a bigger look for whoever convicts that motherfucker too. So if I was the DA, I would rather take the Vince McMahon shit than the extortion from a random bitch.
But I'm saying, Vince McMahon, folks, if you are 3.2, why everybody ain't paid off, folks? Take $1 billion out that shit and pay everybody.
Everybody all right.
I feel like because it's 2023 now and that shit getting harder and harder to cover. It's getting harder and harder to clean money. It's getting harder and harder to launder money. It's getting harder and harder to.
They was gonna ask his ass on his taxes. Where you spend all this at?
It's getting harder.
Didn't they just combine too with the what's his face? Dana White and
the UFC. I think
So them going through all this paperwork in the mergers and all of these things might have uncovered some
might
more
have
things too.
uncovered this right here.
Or he did this for some type of shielded protection because he saw it coming.
Oh, that's why he could have sold the UFC to Dana White because he knew that he was going to get hit with all this.
Possibly
Facts,
too,
and they was just gonna seize all his assets anyways.
Hurry up and cash
That
out.
Me
have
Too
some of that
movement
shit.
be
That
going
nigga need
crazy,
to go
man.
I'm sure a lot of his money is inside trusts. Anyways, that's what the real rich people do when they try to keep their money hidden.
I don't think rich
Go
people
put it
like
in the
this are ever
trust.
surprised.
Nah.
when something
Nah,
like this.
nah,
Like,
yeah.
whatever.
Fuck no.
You know,
He-
they're 2 steps
They
ahead.
told his ass 2 years ago, you know we
Yeah.
coming for you, Vince. Be prepared.
I'm sure. Did he turn himself in or some shit?
No, this just got.
Oh, this just civil? Or,
Yeah,
oh,
he
okay,
going to
okay,
jail
okay,
for this
okay,
shit.
it's just civil.
I mean, honestly, it was just a search warrant anyway, so like no charges been brought against him or anything. They're just looking into him, so ain't no telling what else they might find. But yeah,
That's
shout
how you
out
know
to
it's
Vince
coming,
McMahon.
Yeah. I ain't gonna
Besides
lie.
this though, Vince McMahon is a legend. I ain't gonna hold you like.
But
all
fuck
this-
Vince McMahon though, nigga. Like Vince McMahon, listen, but fuck that nigga. You feel me? As far as nigga, what he be doing to nigga black wrestlers and a lot of that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Fuck him. He could suck my dick.
What
nigga.
he be doing? Put me down. I don't know.
Let's put you on then. You know what I'm saying?
What happened?
Vince McMahon. How many African American championship belt holders have you seen in the last 50 years that didn't look like a Samoan?
That's true.
All right,
That's
what we
true.
talking about? You know what I'm saying?
but-
Nigga Bobby Lashley.
But once it's your
there's that
company,
really
though,
bad
Almighty, you can do what you
skit,
want to
too.
do with it. Maybe he
I feel
only
that
wanted one
you
black
can
nigga.
do what you want to do, but fuck you.
Yeah, fuck him though.
You feel me? You can do what you want to do, nigga.
Suspect,
But
you
fuck
remember
you.
the Booker T skit?
Look at his
too?
face. He looked like a billionaire.
He said what?
The Booker T skit.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You talking about when they was like, "What's up, my nigga?" Well, that
Yeah.
was John,
Crazy.
that
I
was with
know.
John Cena too.
Come
though,
on,
right?
bro.
Oh, yeah, he did with
And then
Cena.
that too,
You're right.
I got a big problem with John Cena too. I ain't gonna lie, like
I
nigga,
feel that. I feel like he was blackface.
On my
and I was
mama,
like, he
nigga,
was like
you
really
blackface
trolling.
for like 5 years. Nigga, and then once you blew up, nigga, you went to military,
White corporate America.
military.
Exactly. I don't fuck with John Cena.
I
no
don't
more
fuck
either.
with that nigga. He sucked
I
my dick too.
realized
Nigga.
that's what I realized
Well,
too.
fuck
Like
you,
after
John
I went
Cena.
You
back,
feel me? Because they should have
Come on
gave
to no
that
jump, we gonna
character.
blast on
They
your
should have
ass.
gave that character to a nigga. Why did you give a whole rapper, you feel me, character to a whole random white man? Like I get that's what made it stick. But man, if you gonna do that, stand on that shit.
stand
nigga.
on that shit.
You feel me?
You should still be in that type of realm right now. You should.
He
still
wanted
be
to go
feeling-
bigger
yeah,
and more
yeah.
mainstream, and the more preferred look for the wrestling base is these white, males that more patriotic type
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga went full military patriot route and fuck that nigga, suck my dick.